I made a mistake. I lost my cool, and I regret it. It's going to come back to hurt our team. The guys who jumped in the little scrum, I appreciate my team having my back, but it just never got to that point. That's on me.
Marquise, should Garrett be done for the year for what he did?
Absolutely, 100%. We'll see how serious the NFL is about their players.
Do you expect anything to happen to you?
At this point, who cares? My man got hit in the head with a helmet. I mean, I'll accept whatever penalty it is.
Can you remember being that angry on a football field?
Nah, I blacked out. I don't even remember it, really, to be honest with you.
Well, Pouncey's teammate, wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster, saw his night cut short due to a concussion suffered in the second quarter of the loss in Cleveland. He was hit by defensive backs Greedy Williams and Morgan Burnett. He was eventually able to walk off the field. The Texans recently partnering with Ty's Junior High to host a Huddle for 100 event. Texans players and cheerleaders surprising students and their families by showing up to volunteer alongside them. The team also surprising Principal Dr. Chris Mitzner with Super Bowl tickets in recognition of her 27 years of teaching and educational leadership. So always cool to see teachers and principals awarded for their hard work. Now we'll just have to see if the Texans can make it to Miami for the Super Bowl. I think that would top it off for her experience. So great all the way around.
Allow myself to.
Love that. Thank you so much. Will, favorite teacher ever, Mrs. Samasco, first grade?
Mrs. Harris in elementary.
Miss Drybelbis, first grade.
Miss Fowler in fourth grade. She was wild. I loved her. She was so fun. I loved her.
On that note, let's talk about the Colts, shall we?
Yeah.
I shouldn't have asked that question, but
She's
it seems
awesome.
like a fun question to ask.
Yeah.
The Colts, of course, struggled in Week 10 without their quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, on the field. This week, the Jags come to town with Nick Foles making his first start since Week 1. And with more on the Colts, here's Stacey Dales. Stacey, save me.
Okay, Colts quarterback Jacoby Brissett has missed the past 2 games with that MCL strain, but he's back in full capacity. I watched him in practice this week wearing a brace on that left leg. He wanted to return last week against the Dolphins, but the team holding him out, of course, for precautionary reasons. But what an infusion of energy back into this locker room. Left tackle Anthony Costanzo telling me that he just simply brings a quiet confidence that you want in a leader. But with that quiet confidence comes the competitiveness, the passion, and the accountability. Running back Nyheim Hines telling me that whether it's a guy like T.Y. Hilton or a practice squad player, he's going to want something executed and make that execution happen. Mentioning T.Y. Hilton continues to be day-to-day. The wide receiver with that calf strain, and told me he's improving. By the way, turned 30 on Thursday of this week. And then wide receiver Devin Funchess, he's off of IR. Limited capacity, back in practice. So some positive signs moving forward as the Colts work to get healthy as the Jacksonville Jags come to town this weekend.
Never.
Appreciate you, Stacey. Oh, it's Mad Minuto time, starting with the Jags-Colts matchup. You guys heard Stacey Dales on it. It should be a good one. What are you looking for, Peter?
With all due respect to Jacoby Brissett, it's the return of my man, too, and that's Nick Foles. Maybe my favorite quarterback in the NFL. I would pick Nick Foles in a clutch situation, back against the wall, maybe against any other quarterback, including Tom Brady. That's how much I believe in Nick Foles. Jaguars not done yet. Nick Foles, throw him on your back. Let's do what we always do. November, December, take us to the playoffs.
Patrick Mahomes is old news?
Sorry, Mahomes. I'm a
Joe
Foles
Montana's old news, apparently. What do you got, Nate?
Yeah, this is the battle of the backups, right? Nick Foles used to be a backup, and we fell in love with him. The magical Nick Foles. Even in the game that he got hurt in, he threw a touchdown on that specific play. But I'm all about Jacoby Brissett, and simply for the reason that Jacoby could rescue the season for the Colts. How are they going to bounce back from this loss to the Dolphins? I know.
What's going on?
Somebody was calling me.
Oh, okay.
People want to find out my thoughts on this Myles Garrett thing. And I'm like, I don't want to talk about it right now.
Nate's always very mindful of the clock with that Hello Kitty.
Go, you have 7 seconds.
2 things you never count out. Nick Foles and Frank Reich. Like, which one do you choose? One of them has to lose. I actually don't love Nick Foles to start a season, but when your back's against the wall and when we're screwed and we're not going to make the playoffs, Peter, he's in the huddle pointing out John Candy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's him. He's number 16.
John Taylor over the middle.
The Jags have won 3 of their last 4 against the Colts. But who's counting? Let's talk Cowboys-Lions in the Motor City. What stands out in this matchup other than the fact that I'm going to be outside braving the elements, and you guys know how much I love being cold.
Nice.
This is the Cowboys and Lions. You know, there's always something about this game that it ends up being a little bit tricky. You know, I remember playing with Matt Stafford, and we had the the Cowboys in Dallas, and that game came down to the wire. And then we had the Cowboys at home, and Matt Stafford decides not to call timeout and go for it over the goal line. Even though Matt Stafford's not playing in this one, I do feel like this is going to come down to the wire. And this is a very big game for Dallas. Let's just see how good you are, because they're supposed to win this
There's
game.
still a chance Stafford does play. Now, look, he's got broken bones in his back, but to me, I'm watching that because if Stafford somehow guts this out and he gets out there and it's not expected for him to
You
be
want him out there?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. If he believes he could play, this could save the season. They beat the Lions. They beat the Cowboys. Suddenly, they turn things around. This is a fascinating game from the Detroit side as well as, of course,
so
the Cowboys
tough.
side.
He's in
Yeah.
Yes, the whole interest in this game lies for me with if the Cowboys manage to somehow lose this game, they got real problems. Then there's a huge chorus of people saying coaching change, midseason, all that. They shouldn't. They have a much better team, much better players. Don't put up no egg. Come on now.
We talked Mayfield and Rudolph and Lamar Jackson facing off against Deshaun Watson. Fun fact time. You guys ready for this? This one also features a rematch. Dak Prescott and Jeff Driscoll squared off back in 2015. Dak's Mississippi State Bulldogs came out with a 42-20 win over Driscoll and Louisiana Tech.
La Tech, I remember it well.
Where are those college highlights?
Sure.
We'll have those potentially on Monday. All right, one more. Cardinals and Niners in Santa Clara. What are we looking for, Kyle?
This is the Steve Keim Bowl, I believe. This is the Arizona Cardinals GM. He could have taken Nick Bosa. He could have taken Kyler Murray. I think he made the right choice, but I'm tuning in to watch the number 2 pick chase around the number 1 pick all day. I'm into it.
I don't know if we're getting Kittle. I don't know if we're getting Emmanuel Sanders on Sunday. I do know this. The Niners need to win this one. Up ahead on the schedule is a huge matchup with the Packers, Ravens, Saints, in Seattle, a Rams team that's furious with how that game went last time. Like, the Niners' schedule is brutal. But the Cardinals at home, you have to win that game. Get that one, get that W, give yourself a little bit of a cushion.
Yeah, if you would have asked me about this game in September, I would have said, oh, man, it's the 49ers in a runaway. The 49ers are too good. The Arizona Cardinals are still trying to figure themselves out. Well, guess what? The Arizona Cardinals kind of figured themselves out. And you might assume that Kyler Murray, being a rookie, has turned the ball over a ton. The Cardinals only 6 giveaways this year. So they're protecting the rock. And now that you're asking me this question in November, I do feel like the Cardinals have a legitimate shot in winning this game. And I'm not just saying to hype it up. It's because of what they saw last week, Seattle beating the 49ers, and this being an NFC West matchup.
They took them to the wire 2 weeks ago on Thursday night.
Well done, Mad Minuto. Great stuff. We've got more, of course, on last night's action, but tonight on NFL Network.
What's up?
Tonight, original series, NFL 100 Greatest. We are revealing the greatest teams in all of NFL history. Take a look at this one that made the top